Hello, fellow treasure hunters. It's the Antique Duo back here with you again this week, looking at another great antique stop for you. This one's another antique market similar to the one we did way back in our first episode. This one's called the Lakewood 400 Antiques Market. I think it grew out of a sale that used to happen out in the Lakewood area of Atlanta many years ago, but it has moved and is now a once a month market where you can come find vendors from all over the place who come. Got one coming up soon this month in December. If you like Christmas stuff, it is the place to go. They have tons of Christmas things there. The vendors have gone all out, making sure that they have updated their booths and have lots of Christmas gifts and materials and decorations, things that you will not want to miss. As we go through the pictures here, you'll see a lot of Christmas mixed in, but we were there probably in early November. But we've been there a couple of times. I like going around Christmas because it's just neat to look at the old vintage Christmas decor and toys and things like that. Really stepping into this place feels like more of a museum of the past. I know I said about a lot of places, but this one really has a little bit of everything. You've got that craft stuff, you've got furniture, you've got rugs, home decor, chandeliers, old signage. There are several, it's really all under one roof, but there are several different buildings that kind of connect together. I think they're each called halls, and I think they're lettered A, B, C, D, if I'm not mistaken. That video there was kind of from the very first one as you go into the left. But just lots of things, jewelry, quirky collectibles. You'll just see things from different decades, history, different stories. It's really the kind of place where, you may see a mid-century lamp right next to a farmhouse dining table or something like that. A lot of retro stuff here. Hundreds of vendors. They boast to have over 75,000 square feet of climate-controlled hall here. It's a little cool in there, so if you are going on a cool day, I would suggest you carry a jacket, just kind of drafty because it's a large building. Part of the charm, I think, of this place is the vendors. If you strike up a conversation with them, you'll find they're very passionate, either collectors themselves or restorers. You ask them about certain pieces, you may find backstory, you may get an age, or it's history of the craftsmanship, just something like that. It kind of feels personal to a lot of these vendors rather than just a store that you go to. The couple times we've been, I've noticed the same vendors kind of are in the same spots over time, but I have found a lot of things do tend to change. The inventory tends to change. It is that first full weekend of every month. It's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 9 to 5, 9 to 6. I think on Sunday it's like 10 to 5. There is an admission gate. I think it is $3 per person. I can't remember if it's 3 or 5. Online it says 3, so we'll go with that, but it could possibly be 5 just because of inflation, I guess. But that gets you in for the whole weekend, so if you have to come back another day. This is around the Cumming area too. Earlier in our series, we did one on a store called Angry Mama's, which is right down the road from this. So when you get done with the market, you can certainly check that one out as too. There's parking there. There's a big snack bar dining area there when you walk in. We've had some good barbecue there before. I probably spent half a day just exploring, finding things like reclaimed wood furniture, striking up conversations with these nice people who have, this is kind of their life's work, or these things might have belonged to their parents who've been dead for years or something like that. Neat children's books, old carved mirrors, 40s area, stove-age side tables, lots of glassware. You can see rugs. You can see lots of floral arrangements, lots of vintage clothing. You kind of wouldn't expect that, but lots of vintage clothing there. A couple different booths with that. You can see some glassware there in that one. The days we've been, it hasn't been that crowded. I would imagine probably this first one in December may get a little crowded, especially on the Saturday. These vendors come from all over, so some of the reviews you read may say something to the effect of, the later it gets on Sunday, a lot of the vendors may have already packed up and gone home. So if that's your one day to go, you may want to make sure you get there early to make sure you can see everything that's there. But again, there's some modern stuff mixed in there, lots of old stuff. One of the things that we found when we first went was this very sweet lady who was selling these little journals. There's a picture of them coming up, I believe, where she or someone she knows was taking the covers off of old books, whether they be old novels from a library, there were church hymnals, there were the children's little golden books, and they would basically take the cover and the back off and put blank pages, right there they are, in between them to make these neat little journals. We did them as Christmas gifts a while back. Just a really neat thing. You can probably find them on Etsy, but they're going to cost you probably 3 times what that nice lady was charging for them at $15 a piece. So I check those out. This really isn't another antique mall. This is an experience, really just a living, kind of thriving place, teeming with character, variety, and some hidden gems in there too. So plan to spend a day there, some time if you're in that North Georgia area, up around Cumming, north of Atlanta. You won't want to miss it. On the last couple of rows, you'll find Retro Ron's. Don't miss that. He has got some of the neatest stuff, old stuff. Check it out, the Lakewood 400.